My journey begins at North America's most northern drivable point. The plan is to ride through Canada and America before crossing over to Europe. From there, I'll make my way across Asia and down to Australia. New Zealand's southernmost drivable point will mark the end of my journey. I'm calling it the Big Spiral, and this is Act 3 across North America.
Good morning from my jail cell in Ottawa, Canada. Yeah, I stayed in an old jail that was converted into a hostel. And yeah, as you can see, my room is tiny. In the last video, I promised to tell you whether I heard any ghosts or saw any apparitions or anything like that. Well, I put earplugs in and they just didn't get through. So I actually slept really well last night. And yeah, I give it 5 out of 5 stars. So today I have to keep heading east because I have a flight booked for my motorcycle from Halifax. And yeah, I have to keep moving and keep moving fast. So maybe I'll show you on the map what I'm going to be up to today, but also what I have been up to. Sorry, I have to speak a little bit quiet here because it's people may still be sleeping next to me. All right, so last time I updated the map, we were in South Holland, just south of Chicago. And I basically just kept going east, and I popped over here. And somewhere over here is like that Studebaker tree sign, which we went to go check out. And then after that, see, I'm running out of map here. Went up and across like this. Now we have to switch to our Canadian map here. And we drove into Michigan like this. So there's a little gap here that I don't have. And drove up into Flint, which is around there somewhere. And then we kept going to Sarnia. And then I kept going east past London, Ontario. And which way did I go? Probably this way. And then we kept going east until we got to, I think, around Oshawa. And then I turned up to Peterborough. There's just a small road all the way to Ottawa. So before we leave today, I have to pick up a map, but then we'll head east, and I think we're going to end up somewhere over here. There's kind of a weird spot here that I want to check out. And then we'll probably get a hotel somewhere near Quebec City.
So yesterday my bike was overheating in traffic, and I realized the fan wasn't kicking on. So I'm gonna just take the seat off and see if I can tell if there's anything wrong. Maybe there's a connection wrong, or it could be a fuse. Alright, so 10 amp fan. There's a fuse here. Now, the fuse is still good, so the fan is broken, I guess. I have a spare 10 amp here, so I'm just gonna swap them, although I can clearly see it's not broken. So yeah, I'll just swap the fuses just in case, but I don't think that's gonna do anything. The other thing I can do is check the connection, the wiring from the fan to wherever it's going. But right now it's difficult to do because this tank is covering it, and I don't think I can do that without taking the tank off. All right, well, I don't think we've solved the problem. I'm going to a friend's place to do a whole bunch of work on my bike. So I think at that point I'll take the tanks off and see what I can find. All right, so here we go. So if you remember in Flint, Michigan, I went to pick up some Amazon packages, and one of the packages was empty. And that package was supposed to contain a map for my trip over in Europe. And I need that map. It wasn't in there. I need that map. And so I figured, well, I'll just order another one on Amazon, but it turns out the shipping time was a bit too slow and it wouldn't get here in time. So I started thinking, like, where do you even buy maps? Like bookstores or whatever? because it's always been quite difficult to find. Paper maps are somewhat obsolete. So I googled where to buy maps in Ottawa. And there's a place called World of Maps. And yeah, that's where I'm going now to get my map. World of Maps. Oh, beautiful.
There you go.
Cool. Thank you very much. All right, map acquired. Now we're gonna head into Quebec. So Quebec is like kind of famously the French-speaking part of Canada. It's kind of like a gradient. From west to east, the more you go east, the more you'll come across French. But Quebec is officially kind of the French province. Already around Ottawa, because Ottawa's right in the border. Already lots of people speaking French around me. And then as we go through Quebec into New Brunswick, there's also a lot of French in New Brunswick. So, but anyways, we're gonna head to a weird little spot in Quebec. It's a place that got shut down because it was really unhealthy, unsafe, ultimately dangerous. Let's go. Into Quebec. Bonjour, Quebec.
Look into the gig of fire as it burns forever, spitting ashy rain on my brand new leather.
St. Lawrence River. It's quite a famous one, isn't it?
I can think of nothing better than getting lost together.
I'm just outside of Montreal now and I'm hitting the traffic again.
Before the change in the weather.
Alright, we arrived at our destination, Valley des Sources. So basically, that's a French name that translates into English as Valley of the Springs. Springs as in water springs, not the bouncy kind of springs. Which is a really kind of nice name. But it didn't always used to be called Valley des Sources. It used to be called Asbestos. Asbestos, if you don't know, is kind of, it's not a good thing. Well, it is a good thing, but it's also not good for humans. So it's not unusual to name a town after what is mined there. For example, we were in Goldbridge earlier. They mined gold in the area, so yeah, I guess they named it Goldbridge. But asbestos kills people. Oh, this, I think that's what I'm looking for to the right. It appears there's a big hole there. Observatory, oh yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Alright, let's have a look. Oh, there's already a big bucket here for scooping big clumps of earth. Ooh, it's a bit windy today. So asbestos is actually a pretty interesting material. It's extremely heat resistant, so it's great for insulation in houses. As it turns out, Quebec has large deposits of asbestos, and they started mining here in 1885. And since it was cheap and plentiful, it was a really common building material. They actually started to put it into everything, which was unfortunate because it turned out to be fairly toxic. So as a result, asbestos mining became far less popular. It wasn't profitable anymore, and basically all these mines had to shut down. So this mine here next to me only shut down 12 years ago in 2012, which seems quite surreal because we've known about the health effects since the late 1800s, and then we really knew about it in the 1970s. But we still mined it, and we shipped it off to other countries. So in 2020, this town changed their name to Valley des Sources, which is a much nicer name than Asbestos, I have to say. But the history is still here, and there is still a massive pit right on the edge of town. It does seem to be something they've embraced because there's paths around it. It's all fenced off. You really shouldn't be going in there. But it is a giant, massive scar right next to the town, and it's not really something they can easily fix. But yeah, it's quite a contrast, this beautiful idyllic neighborhood, and then this giant pit that was used to extract asbestos right next to it. It's quite fascinating to me, actually, and it's amazing that it was still in operation until 2012. People were down there mining asbestos, and then now it's all blocked off. You can't get out down there at all. And yeah, it's just a change in mindset, I suppose. Anyway, how I still got a ways to ride here. Well, I don't have to go, but I'm gonna ride till it gets dark, I think, and then I'll find some place to stay tonight. Yeah, there's still a big mining truck right there. They embrace their history still, but it's, you know, it's a mixed one.
But I promise you this, I'll always look out for you. That's what I'll do. Say I saw sparks. Yeah, I saw sparks. I saw sparks. Sparks singing out.
Well, this morning I said I was going to stop in Quebec City or around Quebec City. Well, something weird is going on in Quebec City. All the hotels were booked, like all of them. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, so I ended up driving an hour and a half past Quebec City to get to this hotel. And yeah, and actually paid for about double what I would normally pay. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. But anyways, today was a bit of a cold and windy day, but I got to see a big hole in the ground. But here, let's just have a quick look at the map, and then we'll get on to tomorrow. All right, so this morning we started in Ottawa, and then I went a little bit this way to get to the world of maps, and then I headed, I think I took this road, and then I kind of skirted, and then I went like this, and I'm not sure exactly which road I took here, something like that, and then got to this point, and then got to Drummondville, and then took a right, something like that, and then got to Valley des Sources, previously known as Asbestos. And then I took this way and decided not to take the highway. I took kind of the back roads a little bit. Got to around there and then realized, oh, I can't, there's no hotel space for me here. So I kept going, and then turned into here, and I'm in Rivière-Ouelle. Rivière-Ouelle. I'm not good at the French stuff. I'm sorry. But yeah, all right. I'll see you tomorrow, which is now. Bonjour de Rivière-Ouelle. Basically, good morning from Rivière-Ouelle. So basically, I got to keep going east. So today the target is Bathurst. And once I get there, I'm going to go visit my friend Andre. And he's got all these parts for my bike for me. And yeah, in the next video, we'll install them. But we still have a fair ways to go. So I did find something pretty cool along the way. There's an artist that has been making figures and putting them in the river. The St. Lawrence River, which we're right on. And yeah, it's a little, well, it could be perceived as a little bit creepy. I thought it was kind of interesting, so I'm like, okay, let's go there. Let's check that out. So yeah, I'll just show you quickly on the map what the plan is, and then we'll head out. All right, so we're here at the Rivière-Ouelle, and then we're gonna head this way, and then we run out of map, so we just flip it over. Yeah, then we keep following the St. Lawrence up, keep going up, and then right around here is where the figures are, the creepy figures, and then we're gonna head east, and then we're gonna get to Bathurst, which is right here in New Brunswick. So let's get going.
Okay, let us continue. All right, so we're kind of following the St. Lawrence River northeast. Along the way, I gotta go get some tools. So I'm gonna stop at Canadian Tire. That guy's going way too fast. I gotta stop at Canadian Tire and get a 27mm socket and a breaker bar, or maybe a torque wrench. We'll see. Yeah, it's so I can replace the sprocket on this motorcycle once I get to Bathurst. All right, Canadian Tire. Bonjour. Parlez-vous anglais?
Ouais, moi je parle, ouais.
I need a 27mm socket.
Socket.
Yes. Oh, socket for wrench. Over here. Oh. The socket.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
You know his number?
27.
Which one? 20?
Yeah. 27.
27.
Yeah.
Where is 27? 17, 27, it's here.
Yeah.
Okay, one moment.
Okay.
Ici. Je te remercie. 27.
Easy, yeah.
27.
And one more. Can I get the torque wrench?
Okay. Oh, this.
Have a nice day.
You too. All right. Got myself a very basic torque wrench and a socket, 27mm socket. Centre d'Art, Marcel Gagnon. That's where we're going. I probably said his last name really poorly. So this is where the St. Lawrence River meets the Atlantic Ocean, I suppose. Last time I was by the ocean, it was the Arctic Ocean. Oh, is that the art? Oh, I think I saw one of the statues there. Ooh, it's cold, guys. It's cold. Yeah, I guess it's here. Oh yeah, oh yeah. All right, let's have a look. So they're actually made of concrete. I thought they would be wood. It's called Le Grand Rassemblement, or the Grand Gathering in English. Actually, they're really growing on me. I really like them. They're actually quite beautiful, I think. It's like a really rough style they've been created in, but they still give so much expression and personality, which I think they're really cool, actually. They used to be in the water, yeah?
Yeah, but they don't have anymore.
Is it just construction, or?
I could not tell you. This is the first time I've come here.
Oh, okay.
But we are with some people who they came last year, and last year they had some in the water.
Oh, okay.
Now it doesn't show they have it.
Yeah, it seems like these must have been in the water and then they moved them.
That's possible. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh well. Well, that was kind of nice. But I would have liked to see in the ocean. I think that's probably where they're supposed to be. But yeah, looking now, there's a whole bunch of construction going on, so maybe they had to be moved. I don't know. Looks like a big dike is going in or something like that. Oh, there's more here. It's a sheep and a shepherd herder. This is really cool, actually. And someone is mowing the lawn between all of them and doing a good job. Very cool. Nouveau Brunswick, or New Brunswick.
As I'm getting older, chip upon my shoulder, rolling through life to roll over and die. Missing Hilly John, sad days are gone, remembering things just to tell them so long.
Alright, so I think once we cross this bridge, we'll be in New Brunswick.
Mama.
to New Brunswick.
Dear, at your age and try another year.
The geese are flying, but I think they're a bit confused. They're going north. Sun is setting.
Dear, at your age and try another year.
Look at all these bikes. Oh, hello. How are you?
Good to see you again.
Oh yeah, my hand's probably really cold.
It's getting cold to ride a bike now, huh?
It is, yeah. Oh my god, it seems like when I entered Canada somehow.
Not surprising, huh?
Yeah. So
Where did you leave this morning?
like an hour and a half north of what's it called? Quebec City.
Yeah.
So something river or
Rivière du Loup?
that one?
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Do you take a lot of highways or do you
yeah, well, because I just did 8 days of highway and
Really? Yeah.
it's I went to see lots of interesting things along the way, but otherwise not a lot happening, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
definitely trying to make
Make your way to Halifax slowly. And...
yeah,
So is your bike get shipped on the plane as well or on a boat?
on a plane.
On a plane.
Yeah,
I didn't know that existed. You know?
yeah. Cool.
Do you want to put it in the garage right away?
Yeah, sure. Well, it's so kind of Andre and Melanie to allow me to stay in their place and use the garage. Yeah, actually, we had dinner and it was really nice to sit down with some other people and talk with them, and just had the conversation just flowed so easily, and I just really appreciate that. So, but it was a long day. We're nearly all the way east. I think it's been 8 days so far of driving, and it's been a long ride. I started this leg of the journey in Colorado Springs, and we're nearly in Halifax. But tomorrow I'm going to spend the day in the garage and give the bike a bit of a tune-up with the parts that I sent ahead. And but maybe before I sign off, I'll show you on the map what we did today and where we are. All right, so this morning we started about an hour and a half north from Quebec City, and we just... Oh, what did I do? I went like this. No, I already messed up. I went straight to the highway and just drove northeast pretty much all the way, something like this. And then we gotta flip the map. And just kept going. It's a little unfortunate I had to take the highway the whole way, but I did probably 500 kilometers again today, all the way up the St. Lawrence River. And then right around here is where I saw the sculptures, and actually I really enjoyed those. And then from there I started going east, and then right around here is like Campbellton, something like that, and just took the highway all the way to Bathurst. So as you can see, there's only one little leg left to do to Halifax, and that's only just under 500 kilometers, so I can knock that off in a day. But yeah, I'm on schedule. I was a little worried, with the bike overheating and stuff, but it's going well. The other thing is I'm just running that chain ragged on the bike, and I wanted it to last until I got to here, because I've got a new chain and sprockets and all that stuff sitting up in the garage. But yeah, Act 3 is drawing to a close here, isn't it? Soon the bike will be
on a plane on its way to Europe. And I'm kind of excited for that because once I get over there, it's just going to be a whole new world for me. Yeah, it's it's a little intimidated, but also quite excited. So, but anyways, if you'd like to see where the story goes and how I make out in Europe and beyond, through the Middle East and all that, maybe you'll consider subscribing, because that of course helps me, and of course it'll allow you to see when the videos come out. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm a little tired. I think I'm gonna go to bed now. And I'll see you next time. Bye.